Hi guys, in this video you'll see me work on this mid-century teacher's desk. I'd been looking for a desk for a while. I saw this one on Marketplace and I just knew I had to go and get it. It was an hour and a half drive away, but it was well worth it. So the first thing I wanted to do was get rid of all the dark varnish. I decided to use a scraper first to get the thick off. And then I started sanding and sanding and sanding. There was a lot of hours spent sanding. Some parts of the desk have veneer on it, so I was careful to use a high grit sandpaper just to make sure that I didn't sand through the veneer. This is actually a time-lapse video, so it took me about half an hour to do that in real life. So some corners and crevices you can't get to with the sander, and with the varnish being so dark it stands out like a sore thumb. So I decided to use some varnish remover into the corners. I just brushed it on nice and thick, left it for about 20 minutes, went and had a cup of tea, came back, scraped it off, washed it off, job done. Just in case you're wondering, no, this is not my toothbrush. I just thought I'd add a picture of the oil soap that I used there to rinse off the rest of the paint remover, because it was quite good and it smelled really nice as well. So here you can see the manufacturer's stamp in the inside of the drawer. I wanted to keep that, but it was already really faded and I needed to sand it. So here we had some lovely pink stains on the inside of the drawer. I'm guessing it was some sort of ink explosion because it was quite difficult to remove. It did look like the Pink Panther had died inside the drawer. So the veneer on this drawer front was quite damaged. It had some large chips out of it. So later on you'll be able to see how I managed to fix that. Now I'm just taking off all the drawer handles, ready to put into the paint stripper and get all that thick varnish off. I like to just label all of the handles so that I make sure I put the correct ones back where they originally were. Just makes it so they're all going to be straight and everything, and the holes are in the right places. I can't tell you how much I cringe when I see my concentrating face. This drawer actually has a lock on the front of it, although there's no key. I decided to take off the brass lock so that I could give it a clean. So here we moved into the house because it was freezing in the garage. And I'm just putting all the hardware into a container, filling it with white vinegar, and I left it overnight. And just in case you were missing the sanding, here's a little bit more. This is just the drawer fronts now. So in this image you can see where the drawer handles used to be, and that's the original colour of the desk, which is what I'm aiming to get back to. So to get to that aim, there's more sanding. I used the detail sander on the inside of the drawers to help me get into the corners. This is not so much a drawer, it's more of a tray. So it has a plastic insert inside, and it's where you obviously keep all your pens and pencils. That bit does actually have the manufacturer's label on it, so we didn't lose that completely. Now to strip off all of that horrible varnish from the handles. Just putting a bit of elbow grease in here with the toothbrush, the wire brush. And then just wiping off the excess using the oil soap again. So I needed to sort out the veneer that was chipped off on the front of the drawer. So what I did was I used some veneer that I had lying around, just added some PVA glue to the front of the drawer, PVA glue to the veneer, to the back of the veneer. Then I just left it to dry, had another cup of tea. Once it was dry, you'll see how I stick it on. And this is how you stick the veneer on. So you place it where you want it on the drawer front, and then you just iron over the top, and the heat from the iron just reactivates the glue and sticks it down in place. I have to admit as well, I'm a lot better at ironing wood than I am ironing my own clothes. The result wasn't perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was, and this was my first time, so don't judge me. Time to add the finish, and I'm using Golden Oak Restorer finish, and then I'm applying a beeswax polish, which smells amazing. It smells like oranges. Now for the exciting part, applying the finish to the rest of the desk. This is when you know you're on the home straight. I was so excited to start this part that I woke up at about 6:30 on a Saturday morning to start, and my little dog Charlie was not happy with me that I didn't take him for his walk first. So you'll see him plaguing the life out of me while I'm trying to crack on with this. And here he is. He's saying, "Ma, come on, let's go to the beach. Put that down." Sometimes you have to get into the most awkward positions just to be able to get the job done. And here you'll see again Charlie make an appearance to tell me again that, Ma, we need to go for a walkies. So I decided to let the desk dry and give in and take Charlie for his walk to the beach. You happy now? If you've made it this far into the video, I'd just like to say a massive thank you. Also, if you could consider subscribing to the channel, giving the video a thumbs up and maybe leaving a comment, that would be much appreciated. That's enough now, Charles. Let's get back to work. So these are the feet after the white vinegar brought off all the rust and all the dirt. So I'm just giving them a little coat of paint now. Just putting the final touches now before I show you the final results. If you reached the end of the video, I'd like to say a massive thank you for putting up with me. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. That would really help me out. If you give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment, that would be much appreciated. Enjoy the final results.